So my name is Jeremy Abbott, and I work at Google, and I'm the creative evangelist there. Yeah, my whole premise today was basically to bring to light that the choices we make today really affect what we do tomorrow, and that's always been the case. But now that there's been so many more different choices, that they even have a bigger effect. Mobile is extremely important. It's something that at Google it's like the #1 priority. It is the #1 priority. It's not a like, and I think mobile is the start of the Internet of Things, if you know that whole term IoT. So I think mobile is it's basically, again, it's going to be huge. It already is huge. And by nature, humans, we are social. So anytime there's a new technology that lets us be more social, then it's going to be widely adopted. And I think that's why you see the mobile phone is so popular. And it's not just because we're more social with it. It's in the sense of social networking, but just in general, we have a better. I would say we have a better understanding of our environment to some degree. And obviously the ecosystem for Google is obviously the iOS, Android. But just in general, I think the mobile has become a personal device that has gone beyond everybody's expectations. Well, I think since you have a lot of people working on mobile in the Valley and stuff, and they typically have a better sense of software and user experience and interaction design and to some degree product, in the sense of, the mobile is more personal. I think they have a better handle on where things are going in that sense, because the Valley is not, doesn't have this hang up with, we've done stuff before, like we have the car and we have to do the next version of the car. So they start from scratch, this idea of first principles. I think it offers so many different opportunities that people didn't have before. And obviously Silicon Valley, the original, will always be Silicon Valley because of Stanford and the history it has with there. But I think it's great. Another country that's really doing amazing stuff is Israel with Tel Aviv. You see a lot of startups coming out of there. And then you have London and Berlin. And every country has a different cultural flavor. So I think they offer a different perspective to things, and that was part of my talk as well. I think you need this diversity. But that being said, I think the more that people are able to do things themselves and empower themselves and start new companies, I think that's a pretty huge opportunity. That's huge. That's something that Eric Schmidt talks about as well. I think, what was it like? Right now we have 3 billion people that are connected, and it's predicted in the next 5 years we'll have 8 billion people. And a lot of these people are not going to be on desktop. Their first experience will be mobile. So that's why mobile is almost the #1 priority, if not the #1 priority at Google. What are the implications? What are the implications of all these new users for the company and for just themselves as well? I think it's the stuff we don't think about. Like when I showed in my presentation the Grumpy Cat. Like that totally unexpected. Nobody would have thought back when they were creating the mobile phone, and then Steve Jobs came out with the iPhone in 2006 or whenever, that they'd have that would spawn this whole basically industry, or this whole different brand, which is called Grumpy Cat. So I think it's the stuff. I think to really understand the really interesting stuff, you have to look on the edges of things. I think a lot of times big companies, they tend to look in the middle at the mass, but what's interesting is actually the edges, and that's where all the interesting stuff is going to happen.